Hey boo, and welcome. Today's video is going to be about me. No, I'm just playing, but serious. Over on the community tab, I asked you guys to ask me some questions and I would answer them. So this video is going to be a Q&A, but y'all not going to be the only ones answering the questions, okay? Because I got questions too, okay? I got questions too, okay? And the first question that I have for you before I start answering your questions is, what kind of device are you watching me on, okay? I need to know if I got Team Android up in here or if I get Team iPhone up in here, okay? Let me know in the comments section. All right, so let me get into y'all the nosy questions. Some of y'all kind of nosy, but it's okay because I asked for these questions. So I'm going to get into them. But before I do, I just want to thank you for even clicking on the video because you didn't have to. And so I just want you to know that I'm grateful for you. All right. All right. Sorry for the sudden change in lighting, but I had to get out of the car because I did not have the AC on due to the audio and trying to keep it quiet. But this is just not going to be a quiet video, so expect that. But yeah, I'm at one of my little favorite restaurants that I come to work. So I figured I'd film this video because I got to get out the house, y'all. So I'm enjoying working outside of the house today, and I figured I would bring you along. All right, let me grab my other phone.
You're welcome. Not any butter?
No butter, no. Do you have salt and pepper? Okay, thank you. All right, my food is here. This is, oh, I didn't meant to get, oh no, I didn't meant to get turkey bacon. I don't eat pork, man. Oh Lord, bless this food that I'm about to receive for the nourishment of my body. In Jesus Christ's name I pray, amen. I need. All right, the first question is, how are you and your family after going through that emotional roller coaster? Much better. Thank you for asking. The house was tore up, so that's better. Everything is back in its place, reorganized and beautifully decorated. So yeah, I was mainly the one going through it, but they was feeling the effects of it because I was tearing the house up. But thank you for asking. Yes, everything is much better. How do you get motivated to decorate your apartment? I don't really need any motivation. I slightly have a decorating disorder. I don't like the same design for a long time. So that works for me because I'm usually ready to switch it up like sooner than later. But if I didn't have that strong desire to always decorate, how would I go about getting motivated? I would just do it. And that applies to anything. If you just start, sometimes it gives you the motivation that you need to finish. Hmm? What has stopped you from transitioning from a renter to owning your own home? Well, nothing has stopped me. I just haven't made the decision to buy a house. That's a really long explanation, and I think that's a great video because a lot of people ask me this question. Some, like yourself, ask me with a real curiosity, and some people ask it sarcastically. But I do want to address that. My reasonings and how I'm thinking, because it's a lot of money to spend. And I've been a homeowner before. I know that it can be a nightmare if you don't do it right. So I will answer that on another video. All right, it's getting hot and I'm probably going to transition back into the indoor. So I'm going to go ahead and finish my food and then we're going to pick back up. All right, change in scenery and the next day, which is a lot better because the sun is not out. So let's get into these questions. What is your favorite scripture? Also, what is your favorite holiday? Favorite scripture is Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me and you too. And favorite holiday? Thanksgiving. Only when I don't have to cook by myself. Let's see. Next question. Oh, yeah, next question. How do you get motivated? I answered that one already. The other question that I got again, have you thought about home purchasing? Again, I'm going to do a video separately because I know that is a question on a lot of people's minds. Like, why you still live in an apartment, girl? All right. What would your dream home look like? For my home, it is off the chain. That's probably one of the reasons why I'm still a renter. And by the way, the next question that I have for you is, do you have any pets? And if you do you have a dog? Or do you have a cat? Maybe you have both. Maybe you have a bird. Let me know in the comment section below. Drop an emoji if you can of your animal. All right. So I did write down the dream home that I'm looking for. And I put a lot of thought into this because, like I said, I have been looking at homes for the last 3 years now. All right, so my dream home would be a 4 bedroom, 2 bathroom, 3 car garage, screened in pool, luxe outdoor living space, ensuite with double sinks and a hidden toilet for when they get off work, and about 2,200 to 2,400 square feet. Doesn't have to be, it actually could be a little bit smaller. I think 2,000 square feet will probably be the smallest that I would want to go. Open concept, lake behind the house. I don't want any neighbors behind me. Sides, okay. Behind me, no. I want palm trees in my backyard, and I want the house to have a lot of natural sunlight. I am lacking that in this apartment, and I just can't wait to have my house flooded with natural sunlight. Fruit trees, a desirable location, and I want an outdoor kitchen. That's all. And then if we get into the details, like I want white plank flooring, the same throughout the house. I want designer inspired recessed lighting. Like I don't want just a bunch of recessed lighting everywhere. I want my lighting design to be on point. And then everything else will just kind of fall into place. And I want more negative space. I feel like my apartment is like decorated like everywhere. Like I want it to feel open and airy and calm and all that good stuff. So that is my dream home. All right, what are your hobbies you like to do outside of interior designing? I actually love to skate. I love rollerblading. I try to go rollerblading at least once a week. I want to amp it up so I can get fancy. I could do a little something, something, and I haven't fallen since the first time I put my skates back on in a long time. But skating is definitely one of my hobbies that I like to do. I guess you could say interior design was my hobby, but now it's turned my job, but I still love it. Like, even if I'm not getting paid to do it, I like it. Even if I'm watching somebody else do it online, watching a TV show, like, I just never get tired of seeing ugly spaces turn into something beautiful. And, yeah, I never get tired of it. Like, I like fashion, but I get tired of it sometimes. I like makeup, I like hair, I get tired of it. But I never get tired of interior design. So I would say that it's still my hobby, which makes it so amazing. All right, next question. If I'm not mistaken, this is from one of my Lux Rental members and one of my e-design clients, P Crew. I want to say I want to say that's you. If it is, hey girl, hey girl. All right, I would love the chance to interview you. Oh my gosh, it's a lot of questions. Okay, I'm gonna try to figure out which ones. I'm gonna answer 3. Okay, this is a good one. What has been the most significant personal transformation or growth experience in your life, and how did it shape who you are today? What is the most significant personal transformation and growth experience? Ooh, that is actually a hard question. Okay, there are several things that I have experienced that has transformed Wayna. One, I would say motherhood. Motherhood definitely makes you grow up, mature, think differently about the future. And I was a young mom. Like, I became a mom at 20. So yeah, I really didn't have a lot of time to kind of goof off or do things that most young people get to do. Like, I was focused on future and family and making sure this kid is going to be good. So I would say, number one, becoming a mom transformed the person that I am. And then number two, I would say becoming a nurse. Seeing, all different ages of life, especially as a ER nurse, because you may have a 2-day old in one room and a 98-year-old in the next room. And so just being able to see all the different stages of life, beginning of life, end of life, it really has given me a front row seat to how precious life is. And so I think that has transformed me. I can't be, what's the word I'm looking for? I want to use the right word. I can't be too shallow if I wanted to, because I really have seen how real life is. So that would be number two. And then number three, I would say becoming Wayna. From Dwayna to Wayna, like, you know how people say, oh, that's my alter ego. I wouldn't say that's my alter ego, but I would say that Wayna had to move a lot different than Dwayna, because when you're trying to build something and you have no direction, no mentor, no nothing, like you have to move differently, right? You have to grow every day in different ways. And that has definitely changed me. And I talk about this all the time. Taking God on my journey was the biggest part of that transformation, because if you can believe Him for something small as YouTube, and I know people like, oh, I have literally gotten these comments online. What did the girl say? I find it crazy that people would think that God would care about a YouTube channel. And I was like, wow. I didn't respond to this because that's their opinion, and who am I going to take that away? But my opinion is, why wouldn't you think that God would care about something so small? God wants us to work, right? It says it in the Bible all the time. So if your work is speaking to people and teaching them how to decorate and be grateful and, do things to make them feel good, why wouldn't that be something that God would want to bless? Why? Why would that not? If it's helping people, because Jesus said, love God first and love others. So if you are experiencing something and you want to make things better, and you don't want to, keep it to yourself, you want to share it to help other people out, why wouldn't that be something good? And why wouldn't God want to bless that? So let me not get off on a tangent, but yeah, becoming Wayna and taking this entrepreneur, content creator journey has definitely changed your girl. Okay, here's another good question. As a nurse and interior designer, how did you balance your passion for design with your dedication to healthcare? Are there any surprising intersections between the two roles? There's actually a lot. And I will answer the first question. The balance came from being per diem, because I was able to make my own schedule. I typically picked up shifts that would end at 3 o'clock in the morning. Naturally, I am a night owl because I have worked night shift, especially when my son was really, really young. I worked night shift, and so I became accustomed to being up. And when I would get off at 3 a.m., I would go home and I would edit until about 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. And that allowed me to create and batch content and things like that. So that was pretty much how I was able to, be consistent. And then if I was working on projects, then I would schedule myself around it, things like that. And then also, I don't talk about this much, but I have been in a long-term relationship, and my now husband has always been a really good provider. So, it's not like I was doing it by myself. Um, so he's been a very big part of, allowing me that opportunity to take a breather and do the things that I like to do. So shout out to you, babe. I don't think I ever said that, but yeah, shout out to you. And the other question that you asked me was about the interior design and nursing intersection. Okay, so I can say that when you are a nurse, you learn a few core things that actually apply to everything in life. One is, if you didn't write it, or if you didn't chart it, you didn't do it. And that does two things. One, it does something that my OB teacher told me a long time ago, which when I was young, I was like, whatever. Now I'm like, oh, she is so right. Paper will remember when you don't. And literally, just like earlier when I got that question and I literally couldn't remember exactly what I wanted in the house, I wrote it down. So paper will remember when you don't, and If you didn't write it, you didn't do it. So try to document as much of your life as possible. Write all your ideas down, write everything that you do down, write down what you eat. It just allows you to assess yourself better and what's going on in your life. Which leads me into the next nursing interior design intersection. So the nursing process can be applied to any part of your life and life in itself. So in nursing, they teach you the nursing process, which starts with assessment. In order to make a plan to do anything, you have to assess what is going on, what you're working with, all of that good stuff. So that's what I use for interior design. I assess the client, I assess what the client already owns, I assess the budget, I assess the client's style, I assess the client's ability to help, or can we DIY. All of these things I get a lot of information, and then from that information I'm able to make a plan, which is the next step in the nursing process. And then once I have that plan, I implement, meaning I do what I plan to do. And then once I get everything done and I've implemented the plan, then I evaluate. I evaluate when we're right, when we're wrong, how was the outcome? Was it a desirable outcome, undesirable outcome? And then from there, the cycle continues. That has been what I use to teach myself interior design. And along the way, I just, dropped a few things here and there into, my system or whatnot. But those, I would say, are the number one and two things that helped me to intersect. And then also, there's a third one. In nursing, if you work in hospitals that are less funded, and less fortunate, or I'm going to say working in hospitals with a lack of resources, you learn to get very creative, okay? Because you still got to do what you got to do. So having that plus, growing up, in a environment where we always had to get creative. We were not, I'm not going to say we were poor, but we didn't have it like that either. You know what I mean? So we had to get creative sometimes. And marrying those two backgrounds with interior design also helped me to think outside of the box. Girl, you got some good questions. Okay, I'm going to answer a few more. Maintaining a successful marriage and being a mom in both demanding roles. What strategies or values have helped you maintain strong, meaningful relationships in your life? Okay, that was a good question. So you do have to prioritize. And I always like to prioritize God first, because I just mentioned earlier that my favorite scripture is Philippians 4:13. So if I start there, I should be good everywhere else. And then after that, I do prioritize my family. Sometimes the channel does get neglected for like a few weeks, never a month, for a few weeks. But my mentality is I have done work consistently. I've put up over 300 videos. If these 300 videos can't cover me for a few weeks, then Houston, we have a problem, because that's the perk of, making content and, having passive income or evergreen content. It should work for you when you're not working. So sometimes I do feel like I, don't post here as much as I should. But in, like you said, juggling all the roles and stuff like that and trying to maintain, you have to have pecking order. You have to have a hierarchy, so God, family, and then career. And sometimes stuff still is off balanced. But, just saying, okay, I'm human, it happens. And moving on from there, everything seems to work out. I don't think I always maintain my life well. Sometimes it get a little wobble, little off kilter, but it'll do. It'll work itself out. The question is, if you could offer one piece of advice to other working moms juggling multiple roles, what would it be based on your own experience? I would say that when you're trying to juggle a lot of things, being organized and writing things down really does help in learning to delegate. All right. Remember you did a virtual design project. Do you prefer in-person design over virtual design? I'm gonna take this off, y'all, because I have the AC off so that the audio don't sound bad, but it's really hot in here. So just know that I'm thugging it out just to talk to you. I would say that I liked both of them, and I would love to have both of them in my business model, but I would need a team because for me, I wear multiple roles. So in one season, I was digital content creator, an affiliate marketer, and a digital marketer, which that's a lot. That's three hats right there. And on top of that, I was an actual interior designer as far as like working with clients, as well as before, I would say before the pandemic, I actually had clients and whatnot. Um, I like the in person because I'm able to walk in the space and feel the space and just really get a sense of like, wow, I did that. Whereas I like the interior design aspect for the e-design, but I still have never been to the space that I designed. So it's nice to see it come together visually, but I can sit in the space and feel when something is not right. So because I've never been to that space that I designed, like it looks good through the lens of my computer or my phone or the screen, but I've never been in the space to say like this feels cozy or this feels, you know what I mean? Like I can't even explain it. Like sometimes when you just sit in a room, because like that's what I do when I decorate. Like I'll sit in a room and then certain things that just start bothering me, and I'd be like, this gotta go. It's weird, but that's how I do. All right, so yeah, if I had to pick, if you made me pick, I would say in person, just because I get the feel of the space. So I just mentioned that I am a digital marketer. So I make a lot of my revenue selling my own products and services, digital products and digital services. And as of right now, that has been working for me, but I definitely want to branch into different things. And that's my goal for 2024. What are some of your favorite places to shop for reasonable price furniture and decor items? I like to shop at IKEA. Everybody knows that, I think, by now. Because I think that when you're in a small space, organization and storage is really what you need, more so than like design and all that. People who have really big houses have to worry about, oh, I'm designing this and I'm designing that. Most people that's in smaller spaces with, you know, multiple people in there, they need to figure out how to fit all of their necessary items before they can worry about beautifying the place. So that will be my first place that I like to shop. Target, of course, is another. You definitely can get beautiful decor and furniture pieces from there. West Elm is another favorite as well. Amazon, of course, everybody loves Amazon. World Market, here's another good one. I do like to shop at the furniture stores. Yeah, those are a few places. Who else? I think I'm forgetting. I know I'm forgetting a few. I'm forgetting a few. TJ Maxx, of course. Home Goods, of course. Mm, CB2. Sometimes Hobby Lobby, depending on what the piece looks like, because they can get a little word art ish. But I have purchased like some really cute vases from there before. Oh, the hardware store. So Lowe's actually has a lot of nice stuff. And I'm not just saying that because I've worked with them before, because this is not a sponsored video. But in my experience with working with them and from other projects that I've done, like my bathroom and stuff like that, you can get some really nice wallpaper. You can get nice pillows, nice rugs from Lowe's. So it's a combination of a lot of places, but I'm creative, so I'll take something from anywhere and make it into anything. So those are some of my favorites places to shop. Okay, I would love to hear your goals and ambitions for your future and any advice / words of wisdom that you have. Ooh. Okay, so I'm at this point in my life where I don't really have a clear goal, or I am still ambitious. Like I still want good things to happen, But I'm at the point where I'm like, God, you pick for me because I don't want to really mess it up no more. So I'm just like, whatever God's will is, that's what I want. And I don't know what that looks like. I don't know if that, I do not know what that looks like. I know I want a house, but I'm not like begging God for a house every night on my knees. I'm thanking God for the place that I have. And I know that when it is time for me to move, that'll happen. Um, but I'm over it because I shared earlier in this video, like I put in 2 offers. I've been looking for 3 years. I really haven't found anything that I love. So it is what it is. But this person next to me just hit the parking block, but I digress. I do that all the time though. Anyway, next question. Also, you mentioned going to the gym. Is that a lifestyle? And would you care to share? I'm into fitness and I pick up tips from many different YouTubers. So, yes, I do try to go to the gym at least 2 times a week. I usually hit that and I truly try not to fall off. If I fall off, I try not to stay out of the gym for more than 3 months because I feel like after 3 months you can tell. So yeah, I go to the gym because when I leave, the birds are chirping a little bit louder. The sky, if it's daylight, is a little bit brighter. Like I just feel so much better when I go to the gym. And then you said, is that a lifestyle and would you care to share? So I guess if you're looking for like motivation on how to get in the gym and stay in the gym, I always tell people just go. Sometimes you see these videos online and you feel like you got to go and you got to do this. You got to be on it. Like you got to, And no, you don't have to do that. What you have to do is actually show up, right? Because that's 90% of anything, right? Like this YouTube video, right? I don't have to be like over the top. I just have to show up, right? Because it's either going to be received, do well, or not. But if I don't show up, we know that it won't be received because it's nothing to receive. So just go to the gym. Even if you only get there and you do 15 minutes of a workout, like you went. You went. And I think that was the hardest part for me to like wrap my mind around because I felt like, oh, I went and I didn't do much and I didn't want to go back. And it was like, no, you went. Mark that off. Say, gym, check. And then when you keep going and you keep going, you seeing other people doing these exercises and you're like, I can do that. And then you do this exercise and then maybe you did this exercise. And then on the next day, maybe you do both of them together. You get the hang of it and you are now an avid gym goer. So just go. That's my number one tip. And keep going. What are some of your favorite foods and dishes to cook? Girl, I don't like cooking. I just like I like to make taco. Oh. No, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't like cooking. I cook pretty much every day, but I don't like it. I don't like eating fast food either though. So I guess my favorite um dish to cook is healthy foods. I like knowing that I don't have, bad oils in my food like vegetable oil, canola oil. Like I don't cook with none of that. I cook with avocado oil, coconut oil, or olive oil. And sometimes I use the grass-fed butter, but I like to cook healthy food. I don't like frying anything. I like to bake. I love cutting up fruits and vegetables, but if I'm being honest, I don't like cooking. Okay, next question. Yeah. How many questions I got left? Oh Lord, this is a lot of questions. We're gonna have to do a part two, y'all. This is a lot of questions. Okay. But I'm vowing to get to all of these. I'll make this the last question, and I'm gonna ask you a question, and then we'll do this on part two. I do believe in an old video you said you were a nurse. Do you still work as one? If so, PRN, full time or part time, and what specialty? If not, when did you start focusing on interior design? Okay, so 2 questions. So currently, I do not work as a nurse. And the second question is, if not, when did you start focusing on interior design? So I have not worked as a nurse since 2021. And the reason I haven't is because I was doing so well as a entrepreneur. I was able to quit my job. I didn't make that video because I feel like I just been like super busy, but I do want to make a video on why I left nursing, if I plan on going back, all of that good stuff, because that's not a job, that's a career, you know? So, however, I still have my nursing license. I still maintain all my continuing education courses. Like, I worked really hard for my nursing license, definitely not going to let that expire. And I am currently licensed in 2 states. So, yeah, currently not using my nursing right now. I do miss it. I do miss it. I'm not going to lie. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. I still miss it a little bit. All right, my last question for y'all. How many kids you have? I got one. So drop that in the comments also. So let's see how many questions. I asked y'all 3 questions. One, what type of phone do you use? iPhone or Android? Two, what kind of pets do you have? Cat, dog, bird, none? And three, how many kids do you have? Okay, I think that's enough questions for this video. Stay tuned for part 2 because y'all asked a lot of questions and it's hot in this car and I am literally sweating. So I'll see you on the next upload. Okay, boo? And if you are interested in design services, check me out over at Waynaworld.com. All right, boo. As always, don't forget, be you, be beautiful, and be chic. And I will see you on the next upload. I just wanted to do that. Later, boo.